Greetings, pop makers. Welcome to Pick the Pops. And we are gathered together this Sunday afternoon in the name of nostalgia. And Pick the Pops gathers in the odd top 20 climber and newcomer and the complete top 10s from the years 1963, 1970.
Good morning everyone, how you doing? It's Paul here from Unusual Things. Now today I'm at Randall's Park Crematorium and Cemetery in Leatherhead, and we have come today to find the final resting place of Alan Freeman, or Alan Fluffy Freeman as you may know him, former radio DJ. I'll tell you a little bit more about him real soon. Now, just all the usual things. If you listened to Alan's show many moons ago, then leave your comments down below. If you remember him, if you ever saw him live DJing or anything like that, or doing any outside broadcast sets, then you know, leave your comments down below. And massive thumbs up to everyone for watching, as always. That's my thumbs up to you, because I know you guys like to give me thumbs up, so I'm going to give you a thumbs up back. So thank you very much. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's free, of course, there's no cost to that. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hello, how you doing? I'm Paul. This is what I do. I walk around cemeteries, churchyards, crematoriums and other things. I find unusual things. That's the concept of the channel. And although you may say, well, a cemetery is not unusual, I get that, I totally understand it. But the way the channel is, it's going to grow in other directions as well. So we will be doing more unusual things, as well as keeping to the cemeteries and so forth. Anyway, we'll get on with it, shall we? Alan Leslie Freeman, MBE, 6th July 1927 to 27th November 2006. Nicknamed Fluff, was an Australian-born British disc jockey and radio personality in the United Kingdom for 40 years. Best known for presenting Pick of the Pops from 1961 to 2000. Born and educated in Melbourne, Australia, Freeman worked as an assistant paymaster accountant for one of Australia's largest timber companies after leaving school. He wanted to be an opera singer but decided his voice was not strong enough. Freeman was invited to audition as a radio announcer in 1952 and began work for 7LA in Tasmania, known as the Teenagers Station. Freeman's duties included continuity announcer, presenter for musical programs incorporating opera, ballet and classical music, DJ for the Top 100, newsreader, quizmaster and commercials reader. I never done all that when I worked in radio. After moving to radio station 3KZ in Melbourne, he took a 9-month trip around the world in 1957 with a promise to return to Melbourne by January 1958. He arrived in London and, on deciding to stay, wrote numerous letters of delay and later apology to his former employer. Freeman began his British career as a summer relief disc jockey on Radio Luxembourg and continued to present the evening programmes on the station until the early 1970s. He gained his nickname Fluff as a result of a fluffy jumper that he was fond of wearing. In 1960, he moved to the BBC Light programme as a presenter of the Records Around 5 show. Introduced by his signature tune At the Sign of the Swinging Cymbal, written by Brian Fahey. A more upbeat version performed by Brass Incorporated was introduced in April 1970. In September 1961, he introduced Pick of the Pops as part of a Saturday evening show. Pick of the Pops became a permanent show in his own right. Freeman presented it until the 24th of September 1972.
Hi there, pop pickers.
Continuing with his swinging cymbal signature tune. I think that's the one that goes da, 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 da. I can't remember. During this time, he was one of the original team of the presenters of BBC's Top of the Pops, a regular programme of the jukebox jury panel, and had a brief stint as a compere of the lunchtime pop music show Go Man Go on the Light programme in 1963. In 1961 and 62, he presented the British version of hit of American quiz Play Your Hunch on BBC TV. He presented a music magazine-style television show for the BBC in 1968, All Systems Freeman, which aired for several weeks on Friday evening, but despite good reviews, did not return for a second series. Freeman recorded a dance single, Madison Time, with the Tell Me Stone Band in 1962, released by Decca Records. It was reportedly one of the label's worst ever sellers. In April 1972, he joined the daily presenters on Radio 1, taking over from the 3 to 5 p.m. show of Terry Wogan. Freeman used Soul Bossa Nova by Quincy Jones as the theme until the 1st of July 1973. During this time, he spotlighted youth clubs and young people and became vice president for the London Association of Youth Clubs. Freeman acted in the horror film Dr. Terror's House of Horrors 1965, brilliant film, and the rock musical Absolute Beginners, another great film, 1986, and played himself or a similar character in films such as Trad Dad 1962, Just for Fun 1963, and Sebastian 1968. He also played God, although God was sat at a mixing desk and said all right in 2 episodes of The Young Ones in 1984. Freeman also appeared in TV advertisements for Brentford Nylons and for Omo, with exclusive for Perfect Whiteness. Remember that? The washing machine. He appeared in Noel Coward's Private Lives at the Adeline Jean Theatre in East Grinstead in June 1968, starring alongside Shirley Ann, Field Sally, Anne Ho and Conrad Phillips. Freeman's style has been parodied, and he was the model for comedian Harry Enfield's character Dave Nice, although he contributed to the satire himself in good grace by appearing in Enfield's show. Enfield praised Freeman in Simon Garfield's book on Radio 1. The nation's favourite by categorising him along with John Peel as DJs who loved music as opposed to DJs who loved the sound of their own voices, like Dave Lee Travis. For all Freeman's supposed cliches and archetypes in his broadcasting style, he has been regarded as original by fellow broadcasters. When he appeared on John Peel's This Is Your Life, Peel said Fluff is the greatest out-and-out disc jockey of them all. After Freeman's death, Robin Gibb wrote a tribute, Alan Freeman Days. Recorded in August 2007, the song was included on Gibb's first posthumous album, 50 St Catherine's Drive, in 2014. Black Sabbath dedicated the instrumental track Fluff on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, composed by Tommy Lomi, to Freeman, since he was one of the few radio personalities of Great Britain to play the group's music live on air. He was appointed member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE, in 1998. He died on the 27th of November 2006 in Bringsworth House, aged 79, after a short illness. His funeral took place at South West Middlesex Crematorium on the 7th of December 2006 and was attended by singer Kenny Lynch, his producer Phil Swern, and DJs including Dave Lee Travis, Ed Stewart, Dave Cash, Paul McKenna, Nicky Campbell, Paul Gambaccini, and his Radio 1 Top 40 successors Wes Butters, Simon Bates and Richard Skinner. So there's all the information there on Alan Fluff Freeman. Even though it's Fluff, people called him Fluffy. He was a great radio broadcaster, someone that I looked up to when I was growing up in terms of his broadcasting skills. I've mentioned it a couple of times before, but I used to work in radio myself, and but I didn't come into it till quite late, and I used to look up to people like him, Kenny Everett, Wogan as well, because they were all sort of like, well, Kenny Everett had madness, which I loved. I loved the madness of it. Fluffy, John Peel, all these great Radio 1, even Noel Edmonds back in the day, all these great sort of Radio 1 presenters of their time. And I used to sit there listening to them all the time when I was younger. So yeah, Alan Fluffy Freeman. We'll have a little look for his memorial plaque now, shall we? Now, I've been having a walk through what seems like a little winter wonderland at the moment. It's beautiful, it really is. And you know what? I think I found it. Wow, someone's decorated that. What is a shame is it's really, really hard to read it, but when I run my fingers over the top, and I've spoken to staff, this is Alan Freeman's, but you can't read it because the writing's worn off, and it's such a shame. I don't know if I can zoom in, if you can see that. Alan Freeman. Oh, hang on. Oh, hello. Can you see that right? Fluff, I think it's got there. I can't see it from here, but hopefully when you guys see it on the screen, you might be able to read it a little bit more. but hopefully you can work out that Alan Fluff Freeman underneath. That's the important part, so you know it's definitely him. So there we have Alan Fluff Freeman. Thank you very much for your services to entertainment, and obviously having the ability to take the mickey out of himself as well with Harry Enfield and things like I said earlier on, you know, smashy and nicey. Don't laugh, mate. I think the other one was based on Tony Blackburn, because they both got that sort of, but bless you, thank you, Alan. So yeah, an amazing guy, great for entertainment, and you know what a career he made for himself. Going from Australia around the world and then ending up in the UK and making it on radio. It's amazing. Anyway, leave your comments down below. I need to go and put some gloves on because my little fingers are getting cold. Yeah, I'm getting old, aren't I? And give us a thumbs up if you like it. And I'll see you all on the next one. Take it easy. Oh, let me show you this first. Look. Talk to me, Goose. Okay, don't talk to me, Goose.